Bam, recording. All right. Well, I'm glad everybody showed up who showed up. Um, let's see over here in the Telegram group if anybody wants to come in and couldn't figure it out. If somebody wants to send a link, they can. A few people over there. All right, so first thing I wanted to do was just say something real quick. I don't do. Oh, there's Smitty. I don't do hopium, right? Never been big on it. I don't like hearing people talk about how great something is until it actually happens, or at least you show me some evidence of something happening. However, there is a certain power of positivity that you got to have. All right, so I don't care what it is in life, whether it's learning how to drive or investing or trying to find a job. You don't go into a job interview automatically thinking you're not going to get it. You go into a job interview expecting to get that job. Now, you might not get it, and that's fine, but you go in there with the mindset that you're the best person for the job, and you're going to put your best foot forward to get said job. So it's no different than these charts. A lot of guys in here are walking in blind, and you're upset because you lost money. I lost money, way more than you, I promise, and it sucked. Okay, so that's why I figured this stuff out. I got sick and tired of losing money. I got sick and tired of letting other people control how I used my money and how I invested it. Had I followed my own gut and done my own thing, I'd probably been a lot better off than listening to somebody else. That goes to be said that sometimes other people know a little bit better than you, and it's okay to listen to what other people say to learn. But remember, this is your money, your chart. If you think someone is wrong, call them out. If they are right and you are wrong, just say, oh, okay, I see. Or if you're right and they're wrong, don't expect an apology. Point is here, I want everybody to spend their own money. I don't want to tell anybody what to do or how to do it. It's your stuff. It's your stuff. They say speaking things into existence is a thing. Now, I don't totally believe in that, right? I don't do wishing things would happen. I try to make it happen, whatever it is. I tell my boys the same thing. Make it happen. Make it happen. Don't ask me to do it. Make it happen. You guys can make it happen too. It's not that hard. You put these pieces together and you come up with an answer, and you can do it too. A shame it's 4 a.m. here. Bro, just stay up. Well, who cares if it's 4 a.m.? We can have a party. Get a beer out. Let's do this. Correct, Frank. You got to make shit happen, y'all. Right there. You got to make anything happen. This is your destiny to make your own. Your life. Your destiny. You control it. Nobody else. Things happen, yes. But you're in control of most things. So since you're in control of most things, use it. Anything good or bad that happens to you happens because of you, not because of someone else. That's my BS motivational speech for the night. So I wanted to show everybody, because there's been a whole lot of talk and a whole lot of argument about technical analysis and whether it even works or not. There's been quite the load of drama over whether technical analysis works or not. So, I thought I would start with the, most hated coin that we have. Probably XRP. And we would talk a little bit about the technical analysis that would have told us all the way back in 2017 that things are happening, okay? If you dig deep and really look for the TA, you can find it. And you can argue with yourself and say, oh, this isn't going to happen. You can let other people influence your decisions and say, yeah, we're going to $5 overnight, or you can dig deep and find the answers yourself, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is, I'm on the tether chart. There's not much data on the tether chart, okay? Not. So I'm going to have to find another chart with better data. XRP USD Poloniex has data all the way back to 2016, I think. Yeah, somebody let Dre know we're in class and shoot him a link. Maybe I can do that. Hold on. I gotta figure out. I just got this stuff on, I just got Telegram on here too. I gotta pop up here in a second. There we go. We'll shoot him a link real quick. How about that? Copy. Paste. Bammo. Alright, y'all guys got the TradingView screen back up now? Or are you still stuck on other stuff? I want to make sure this is working right before I start talking about it. Figure out how to get off of this. I suck at the internet. Hold on a minute. Well, I see all of y'all. That's dope. There we go. Cue the music. All right, now we should be back to working here. What's up, Dre? Dre Day. All right, so let's go all the way back to 2017, the beginning of 2017, when nothing was happening with XRP. And the way we do that is down here on the bottom. We have a little calendar icon right here. You see, you can hit Alt-G. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click on it. It pops up a date, right? We can pick the date that we want to go to and the time we want to go to. So I'm going to do 2017. I'm going to do January 1st. On January 9th, 2017. Doesn't have any data, right? So I got to go to Poloniex over here. All right. This is today. You see I'm down here on the bottom of my scroller there. Let's pop up again. We're going to January 9th, 2017. All right. For, I don't know, a long time here. Let's see how long. Use my measuring tool here. For God knows, 198 days. Way too many days. 6 months. This thing went absolutely sideways. Absolutely sideways and did nothing. That's probably annoying for everybody. Hold on. Y'all ain't got me? Hold on, y'all there now? Sorry. Hey, I messed up, my bad. Y'all got any audio and stuff now? Took me a second to flip back and figure out how to send invites without clicking on other stuff, so I got it now. Anyway, we're going back to 2017 XRP. I use the calendar down here. You find a date, January 9th, 2017. You go back to it. You hit enter. Takes you right there. Look at that. Okay, so does TA work? You know, we had a big argument about it, so let's see if it works. First things first, we know about our moving averages. That was the second class we did, but the first class we did was what? Resistance lines. So how about we draw some resistance lines? Right here's our little line tool. This is a really weird chart, but let's see if we can find some lines in here somewhere. For sure, I'm going to put one down here. Right, there's one. Looks like one could be in this area somewhere. Let's see, I've got a lot of contact points in here. Maybe right there. That looks fairly decent. Maybe not perfect. We'll keep moving along here. Another. Alright. So, hey, there's a few. First thing we notice about our resistance lines. We can look all the way back here, and they just keep on hitting them over and over and over again, following the moving average. You see it also constantly runs the 8 EMA. Constantly. It's either over it or under it. It doesn't seem to bounce around back and forth too much. And every time it does bounce around a lot, we get action. We get a green candle out of it. Nice size one right there. Look at that wick. So, we go back to the moment where everybody says, quote unquote, it just went. It just went. You can't predict this stuff. It's impossible. It's stupid. You can't do it. It's all coincidence. It's pre-programmed and predetermined, and we had no idea it was going to happen. I'll challenge you with this right here. Buy. 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 Tell me that correct, no such thing as coincidence. Tell me that an indicator telling you to buy is not a something other than a coincidence. The indicator literally screamed at you to buy. What is this indicator? This is the 8 EMA Fibbo reversal pivot strategy with alerts, blah, 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 blah. I've talked about it before. It's right here in my favorites. Right here. I like it because it's got stuff built into it. Not just the 8 and the 21, but other stuff. It kind of comes up with a little algorithm of its own and gives you a strategy. Okay, the damn thing told you to buy. What happened? What exactly happened? It looks like we rode the bottom of the 8 EMA. We did a nice little dumpy. Couldn't break it. Dumped again. Finally broke over it. Not only did we break the 8, we broke the 21 also, and we got a buy signal out of it. Now, if we just watch it for a couple days, how long? 1 week. Not much movement though. Look at that. As a matter of fact, we came over the 8. Looks like we bumped into the 200 moving average, which we know is a magnet. We smacked it, got rejected. We smacked it, got rejected. I bet everybody was Pumpy Pumperson right here, like they were this morning. If you happen to look at Twitter, oh my God, it broke the 200 MA. It broke the 200 MA. We're going to the moon. About an hour later, we were down 12%. So this exact same thing I did right here. Look at that. It showed you something, bam, and dropped it all the way back down. Yet, look where it closed. Right here next to the 8. It hung around, hung around. This probably would have spooked me. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I would have saw this and said, yep, I'm out. And I'd have took a loss right here. How much? I probably would have bought in here. And I'd have got freaked out by this one. Look at that. 25%. That would have spooked me, y'all. So let's be realistic. Be worried. I probably would have saw this thing getting rejected to 200 and got a little spooked to begin with before this ever happened. So let's say I bought it here and I saw this happening. I saw it get rejected and come down here. I sold. Let's say I sold down here. No big deal. I lost, I don't know what, about 10%. Yeah, about 10%. Let's say I lost 10%. Let's put a line there. I put lines down because I like to keep a track of what I'm doing. I'm going to make that green because that's what my money lines are. When I make a buy, I put a green line for money. Not complicated, right? So right about here, I would have sold and watched, and it would have came all the way back up here. I'd have been pissed. I'd have waited. It crossed the ADMA again right here. Look at this. So I would have bought right here, and it would have did this to me again. I'd have got impatient again. And then I would have done the same thing again. I'd have bought up here. Only wait, now look. I bought this one, and it broke the 200. When we broke the 200, what is that called? I had a buy signal down here. I had a buy signal right here. I had a buy signal when it crossed the 200. So that is 2 buy signals in one right here, because it crossed the 8, which we've talked about. It crossed the ADMA. And not only did it cross the 8, but it broke the 200. That's 2 buy signals. You already had it down here one time, so if you were patient, you held. And that was for how long? 3 weeks. I don't know if I'd have waited 3 weeks, y'all. I almost guarantee you I wouldn't have. 2 weeks or so, I'd have got mad and left. Alright, so for sure 2 buy signals, right? Just if we look at the moving averages and the EMA, that's it. Would have told us to buy before anything else ever happened. Let's look at some other indicators. When we hit, quote unquote, oversold, which is down here in the white area, what do we do? Somebody tell me. What do we do when it's oversold? What do we do? It's not that complicated. Girlfriend's laughing at me right now. She doesn't know that I laugh at her when she teaches Chinese kids, though. Alright, so... Alright, Frank says, no such thing as coincidence. And he says, LOL, buy it, fool. It's oversold, so you buy it. Do you get that, X Royalty P? Do you get that? It's oversold. It's oversold. Right here. It's oversold. Right here. These are buying opportunities. Anything down here in this white area is a buying opportunity. Buying op, because I can't spell. Anything. Got that, y'all? Oversold means the RSI is in the bottom white part of the chart. Got that, Royalty? Because you're going to listen to everything I'm saying, because you do the most down on yourself about losing a couple dollars. March 23rd, I got you. All right, good deal, you got it. So, we had 2 buying opportunities right here. Just so happens that this one lines up perfectly with our buy signal that we got on our 8 EMA. Now, I've talked to y'all before about this red line right here that I put on the RSI. I put it right there on purpose because it's the 40 line. I call the 40 line the money action line. More often than not, if you look back in history, all the action happens around the 40. Touch, 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 touch. No matter what, it hangs out around the 40. Just like the 200 EMA does. The 200 EMA, it hangs out. Correct, Frank. Everything's valuable that we talk about. No bullshit. So we had a buy signal. We got another buy signal. Our third quote unquote bullish feeling is when it crossed this 40 line right here. Okay? You see it cross the 40, that's a good sign. That means you're moving into a buying zone area. Inside this purple zone is normal trading, okay? You're not going to freak out when it's doing normal trading. You're looking for it to break the purple zone into the whites, okay? Those other areas are where you buy and sell. This purple zone is consolidation and normal trading. Don't freak out. But we do use this purple zone around this red line. When we see it get near the red line, it typically makes a move. You see it did it here. You see right here it couldn't quite break it and it dipped again. Okay, we can go back in history and look. You'll see it over and over again. You can't hear anything. Oh no, bro. You might have to go to settings or whatever. Everybody else has got audio. Now, we had our buy. We saw it cross the 40 line. That's good stuff, y'all. We got at least 3 buy signals. Let's look at the MACD. What did it say? Drag this down a little bit here. Same spot that we found a buy signal. Would you look at that? What have we talked about with the MACD? When the orange gets crossed by the blue line, which is actually the MACD itself, the orange line is the trigger. When the blue line gets crossed, what does that mean? Let's see if somebody says it. Bullish, correct, EJ. When you see the blue line cross the orange, that is a reversal. I don't care whether it's at the bottom or the top. When it crosses, it's a reversal. If we're on the bottom and we cross, we're reversing up. If we're on the top and we cross, we're reversing down. Simple as that. There's another buy signal. Let us label that. Not that complicated. MACD told us to buy. RSI told us to buy. 8 EMA told us to buy. Breaking the 200 was confirmation of our buy. Or you could have just bought right here. Whatever. I wouldn't have done it. Look at this. That would have spooked me, you know. But hey, maybe you could have bought. Whatever. It's actually not lined up correctly. Okay, so it would have been back here. If you bought here on these 2 buy signals, see the cursor moving, it'd be right about in this area. So you still had a great opportunity right here to get that snap. Let's look at some more indicators because we're not done. Looking at buy signals to tell you something was going to happen. How about I bet pivots won't work because it's too far back. So let's remove that one. And let's do stochastic RSI. What happened on it? All right. So we see down here that the stock RSI buried itself. It buried itself here. It buried itself here. Over and over and over again. Look how it drugged the floor right here in this area. Just drug the floor. We see the stock RSI do that sometimes. Part of the game. Okay. Stock RSI has a midline too. Right around the 40 again. Look at all that action. Look how many times it attacks it. Close, 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 close. Not rocket math. Would you look at here? Right at our buy line, it made a 40 run, but didn't break it. There is another buy signal. Oh, hell. Hang on. Okay. What's up, Mr. Phibb? Bro, you can't have that much tequila and be okay. See right there what Mullet said? When blue crosses up the orange, it's bullish. When it crosses down, it's bearish. And I'm going to go in a little deeper on that real quick. We're not truly bullish. We're not truly bullish on the MACD until we see it cross this midline. I'll put it right here and I'll make it black so you can see it real well. That is our real bullish signal. Anything down here is bearish trading. Anything up here is bullish trading. Stretch it so you can see it. It made a cross into bullish right here. Bullish AF. Not only did it trip all these indicators at the same time, but it crossed this midline, which is awesome. You've seen it happen. Wish I could have seen it happen. I'm going to redo that MACD because I got messy. And I kind of wanted it at the bottom anyway. Anyway, you see it crossed. We can have a better example over here just to show you. When we cross down like this and we actually break this midline, that reverses from bullish to bearish. Okay, we're going to be bearish trading until we can get up over and make a move. And this is just sideways. Down, over, down. That's just sideways trash. We don't want to do any of that trading. We're looking for things like this when it hooks this midline and goes. There you go. You can see it a little better now. It's such a wide chart that it's hard to see. There we go. And we'll circle that again. Text it again. Done. How many signals is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 signals telling you to buy. 4 so far. And that's just what we've looked at so far. Welcome back. All right. We've seen the stock RSI. We've seen the RSI. We've seen the MACD. I'm going to take one of these off now just so we can pull another one up here. How did we know it was ready to go? Well, we can use our Bollinger Bands to see if the chart got tight first. All right. Oh, looky there. Look how tight those bands got right there. My goodness. Look at that. Hardly any movement for 2 days. Like nothing. Chart was flat. Pinched down. And of course, like I've told y'all before, you don't know which way these Bollinger Bands are going to send you. What you're looking for is this pinch down. You got a solid pinch down here telling you that they're about to have price action. Right in here. Now on this particular one, we moved down. Why did we move down? We were sitting over this 40 line, kind of looking pretty, but look at this. We were underneath the midline. So this is bearish. This told us we're pinching down, we're under the midline. We're not going up yet. We should have knew this was going to happen. Not to mention, if we look at the EMAs, we're under the 200. Do you think this thing was just magically going to pop up and go through the 200? Because it doesn't work that way. We learned that today on XRP. It doesn't just pop up and go through the 200. It usually hits it. Not only does it usually hit it, but it usually hits it multiple times. Okay? We can argue about it or we can see it happen. Simple as that. And if you have proof of otherwise, show me and I'll be wrong. Bollinger Bands pinched down. We were under the 200. We were under the midline on the MACD. This told us it was going down. All we have to do is find the bottom. We had a 1, 2, triple bottom. That's kind of rare. Okay? Doesn't always happen. It's usually a good sign that it's going to reverse. When you hit something that many times and it doesn't just fall out through the floor, typically it goes the other way. Bitcoin proved that by not being able to break 9,800. Hit it like 50 times and couldn't go, so it fell. Common knowledge. We saw our Bollinger Bands pinch down. Our indicators floored the damn bottom of the chart. About here. You know, you could have waited. It didn't cross the 200. You got scared. Didn't cross the 8. You got scared. You just bought over here. Whatever. Either way, this MACD showed you it wasn't time to buy, didn't it? You didn't see no damn cross over here. It was steadily going down. Then you got your cross. Buy signal, buy signal, buy signal. Y'all, I don't know how hard that's I don't know how complicated that is, but it's not to me. You just have to look at the chart and find it. Now, not only did it pinch here, but look what happened right here. It pinched again. Only this time we're really flirting with the 200. We've hit it so many times. We've touched it and touched it and touched it. We're over the 8 EMA now. We're over it. You heard Mullet talk about the squeeze that happens between the 8 and the 50. I think it was OMG he was talking about. The squeeze happening. Right here you had it, but you didn't have it with just the 50. You had it with the 200. That's the 200, the moving average of all of them. And that EMA squeezed it and popped. Did we know that was going to happen? Bollinger Bands got tight right here, didn't they? Arrow. Right here, we got a pinch. What did our indicators look like? Oh, that was a little spooky, wasn't it? It might have scared you, but we never crossed the 40 line. We hung in there. Didn't cross 40. That's a good indicator. We got near the line, but we didn't break it. And in enough time, the Bollinger Bands pinched down enough. We were over the 8. I don't know how many times Mullet's told y'all to use the 8. Use it. We were over the 8. It pinched and it popped. Now, are there any other indicators we can look at that would have told us the same thing? Of course, you can try to use the cloud. I haven't explained the cloud. We already did the RSI, the stock RSI, the Bollinger Bands, the moving averages, the MACD. How many more buy signals do you need? How many more buy signals do you need to tell you to go? Like 3 is enough for me. 3 or 4. Thank you, Frank. 3 or 4, I'm good, y'all. You tell me 3 or 4 different ways that something's going to go, I'm not really going to argue with you. I'll take a chance, and if I lose, I lose. But I'd rather go down swinging. Now, what would you have done? You bought, you've been watching, you lost a little bit of percent, you got pissed off, you felt like X Royalty P, you felt dumb, you felt like people were making fun of you because you're not smart enough, you get down on yourself, you're upset, you're frustrated. What do? You finally got a green candle. You finally got movement. You're super happy. Well, let's see what would have happened, shall we? First pop. Let's say you bought down here where I was talking about. Oh, no. You know what? Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one because we saw the MACD cross. This candle closed here. We waited for a confirmation candle. We got that confirmation candle. Look what it did to us. Kind of dicked us around a little bit. But let's say we bought here because we waited for confirmation. The first pop on this XRP was 88%. 88% from when you bought to here, and that was in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I said I wouldn't hold that long. You know what? If I'd have saw these Bollinger Bands pinching down and we were over top of the 8, maybe I would have held that. Okay? Probably would have held strong. I hate to be that guy who says one thing and does another. But every coin shows you something different. And if you have good indicators and you have a good looking chart, why get off of it? Unless you see indicators topping out, man, I don't think you should sell. I wouldn't sell it until you feel that it's gone too far. And once you think it's gone too far, walk away. But anyway, 88% on the first pop. Now, what'd you have sold here? We got a long way from this 8, didn't we? And the very next candle came right back down to earth and sent us all the way back to the 8 EMA. You would have lost, not lost, but you would have missed out on 32% in one day. So you'd be back down to 50%. Probably pretty bummed that you had money, but you lost it. You bought $1,000 worth right here on this green line. You went up 88%. You were up $880. You lost 30% of it. You're getting pissed. So, it's still over the 8 though. You're still in good. You're rocking and rolling. You're okay. Not only that, but this thing wicked and pulled all the way back up here to close. So you actually only lost, like 13% because you've used the rules of the weekly and the daily. Not the 1 hour, not the 2 hour, not the 4 hour, not the 8 hour, not the 5 minute, but the daily and the weekly. You watched, you see it hit the 8. You only lost 13%. Maybe you made a decision right here that you were going to sell. I wouldn't have. I'd have probably stayed in. Once I saw this big green candle and it bouncing off the 8, I'd have hang loose. It came down. We drew a resistance line here. Holy shit, y'all, look at that. That's why we draw resistance lines. I don't know how else I can explain it to y'all. I drew this resistance line back here. Remember that? When I first started this video? This is where I was at when I drew that line. I had nothing to do with that over there, that pop. I was looking back here the whole freaking time. And look, right where I drew the line, this thing bounced off of. Are you kidding me? What else do I have to say? There's a confirmation that you're okay right now. Relax. You're doing okay. You drew a resistance line. It found support on that line. It hit the 8. You're okay. From there, what we pull on the next one? Man, we started way down here at this green line, y'all. The hell out of my face. You see that? 1,000%. 1,000%. Exactly, Frank. 1,000%. You started with $1,000 and you made 1,000% on that. Do the math. That's pretty damn good, y'all. You didn't do anything except click a mouse button and you made that much money. Pretty good. Now, well, how did we know it was going to pop that far? That's impossible to know. Like, I just don't get it. That doesn't make sense. Aha. This is why we need Fibonacci retracement lines. On your tool right here, hit your little arrow. Fib retracement. We're making bull moves here. So we want to go from the bottom to the top once we know we've got a bull move. This right here appears to have been a bull move. It broke the MACD. The RSI went up. That's a bull move. So we'll start down here where this pennant happened. You can see a pennant formed right here. The very lowest wick after the pennant was here, and the very highest was up here. It appears that we did a, let me hide these bands so we can see it a little better. Hide these moving averages so we can see it a little better. Right at 61.8% retracement, or a 50% retracement if you don't use the wick, but I like the wicks. Either way, we came up, we retraced on a money fib, which are 50, 61.8, 68, and I'm actually going to change that to 72, because I like 72 better. Apply defaults. Oh, no. Let's cancel that. There we go. Try it again. Let's just do 72 for now. Okay. We did a beautiful retrace. Anything in these zones right here, the 50, 61, 68, 72, 76, this is our spot on retracement. This is the spot that we like to see these things retrace back to and not pass. Okay, they're important from lowest wick after pennant. Yeah. On bull moves, we start from the bottom up. On a bear move, we start from the top down. Okay, this was a bull move, an upward move, so we pull the fib up. I'll even do it again for you. Retracement, bottom wick after a pennant, pull up to the top wick. Got it. Now you see that we did a 618 retracement, which is perfectly fine. As long as we don't break this 78 right here and go down, we're okay. Wicks, that's fine. We want to see closings. We got our wicks right to 61.8 and it popped back up over our resistance line that we drew right here. Beautiful. We've got support now. Let's see what it does. It goes to the next one. It can't break the 8. It's too much power. Starts pushing back up. Okay, since we broke out of this zone, and we broke out of this fib zone, and we broke out of this one, after I break three squares here, I like to think that fib's over, and I'm going to the next one. Okay, you can either do it this way by hitting settings and reverse, and it flips the fib over for you and gives you a set point of where it might go. Sometimes that's helpful. Or you can just erase it and do another one. Now, like I said, oh, somebody's got questions. Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, Acre, here's an important point real quick while I'm on it. Anybody who follows Blockchain Backer, the guy banned me, blocked me from Twitter. Why? I saw an image that he put on Twitter of him pulling fibs. And he said, oh man, Bitcoin has done the same 50% retracement the entire time. The entire time, it's always done 50% retracements. 50%. And I was like, let me look a little closer. And I got to noticing that he was doing fibs like this. Down this way. Oh, you see, it's done this retracement. It did a 50. Bro, that's backwards. You can't do that. On a bull move, you go from the bottom up because you're moving up. On a bear move, you go from the top down. So I simply asked them, aren't you supposed to go from the bottom up on a bull move and the top down on a bear move? My comment got deleted and I was blocked the next day. Consequently enough, I have more than one Twitter account because America. So I got back on and looked the next day. He put up another picture with the fibs corrected. Only he forgot one thing. When you do a fib retracement, because we're supposed to be in log mode right here, everybody, log mode, always on, your retracement tool has that in it also. You see when I click on this, I get settings, scroll to the bottom, fib levels based on log scale. You have to have this checked or your numbers are wrong. That's the next thing I saw wrong. He had his fibs in auto and his chart in log. They were wrong. He had no idea what he was doing. 30,000 followers on Twitter. He shared pictures with to show them how good the TA looked on this. And it was wrong. It was wrong. What are you doing? You're telling the whole friggin' world to do something that's wrong. Like, are you serious right now? And then when someone calls you out on it, you block them. Doesn't make sense at all to me, y'all. So I beg you, if you're going to do this, do it right. If you don't know, ask, okay? So we saw it go down, break a few zones. When I see it break a few zones, I like to think that it's going to get up and go, okay? And as a matter of fact, look what drew another pennant. Kinda, sorta. Not perfect. You have to drop down on a lower scale to see it, but it drew another one, okay? It drew another one and popped. How far did it pop? When I use retracement, I like to not use any more lines than the 1.618. You'll see on almost every chart I share that this is my target for reversal. This is a reversal fib. This one too, the 1414, both of these are reversals. Okay, when we have a coin go down and come back up, break the 786 like I talked about, when we see this 786 broke, more often than not, it goes right on through and reverses to the 1618. One line at a time now. This one, then this one, then this one. You'll see almost every single chart I share have boxes like this that say, here's where I'd buy and sell. It's my coin, my advice. Do what you want. Okay? When this thing hooked and reversed, I would have seriously thought about selling right here, okay? I'd have hardcore thought about it. I'd have had to look at my other indicators. What did they say? Look at that. The indicators say, we're not maxed out yet. Why are you trying to sell? Why in the world are you trying to sell? So, right about here, I'm getting up here now. See that? I'm in the sell zone. I'm in the overbought area. Getting on up here, but I'm not there yet. I'm on this candle. So I'm right here. At the same time I'm right here, look how low this MACD is. It's barely over the midline and turning up. Do you sell that, y'all? Like, I couldn't sell that. How am I going to sell that? Bollinger Bands are no help right now because it's gotten crazy and it's went wide on us. However, the Bollinger Band midline is turning up, moving up, showing no signs of stopping, turning up and going. Why would you sell that? I'm not selling that. I'm riding that. Well, consequently enough, it kept right on going, didn't it? And shot up more, and shot up more. How far did it go? A long freaking way, 1,000%. We done been over that. How did you know it was going to go that far? The indicators told you it was going to go that far. The RSI kept climbing and climbing and climbing. Let's look at the stock RSI and see what it looked like. I bet it looked pretty dope. Probably donkey dick slapped the top and rode the rim. Willing to bet. No, it didn't look. It wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was up here. Look, it didn't do that thing where it rides on the top. It just went up. No biggie. This wasn't even done yet. Man. Do we have another buy signal right here too? Hold up. Let me put a line down. Son of a bitch. Look at that. Another buy signal. Right here. Are you kidding me? The TA doesn't work, y'all. This is ridiculous. I wish I was in this in 2017, dude. I'd have rode the shit out of this. Look at that. Pennant over the 8. Stock over the 40. RSI clearly over the 40. MACD good. I'm not selling that. You kidding me? I'm riding that. It went right on up all the way into another green zone. Looks like it might have formed depending on the lower time frame right here. Can't really see that right now. Hit the 8, right on back up again. Hit the 8, right on back up before it finally ran out of steam. How do we know it ran out of steam? This is where things get interesting, y'all. This is where we have to get better. Knowing when to sell. I'm going to erase some of these so we can see a little better. All right. We blew right through our 1618 line. Why did we do that? Because our indicators said we could keep going. I could probably get on a deeper time frame and figure out that. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now because fibs get complicated. But I showed you the basics of the fib. On a bull move, you pull from the bottom up. On a bear move, you pull from the top down. And you analyze from there. Set your targets, trust your targets, and go. I've told you before that anything over this purple zone up is overbought. That means you need to sell. So right about here, we had the mother of all sell signals. You know what that kind of looks like, y'all? VT today. The stock RSI. Screaming high. The MACD was still going up. That would have tricked me, huh? Still over the 8, way up, but here's where Mullet's rules come in, y'all. What's the rule on the 8 when you get too far away from it? So you determine bull or bear move from indicators using fibs. On a daily scale, yes, Dre. I want to see it cross the midline on my indicators, and I'm knowing whether I'm in a bullish sentiment or a bearish sentiment. And from there, I can pull fibs and figure stuff out. What did Frank just say? It comes back to it. You get that X royalty P. When it gets too far away from the 8 MA, what's it probably going to do? Come back and touch it. Every single friggin' candle in here touched the 8. Touch, 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 touch. This one didn't. Spinner. And then a touch, touch, touch. Like, y'all, come on. You got to see it. It's not hard. It's a simple, simple, simple indicator. There you go. A thumbs up means you got it. We saw that this was way past the 8. We see that our indicators are way high. We can start to determine that it might be time to sell. Even though this MACD is way up here, still moving upward. You know what? That's really high. And that would have made me think right there that it's time to start selling. When I see the MACD this far from the midline, I have a feeling that it's coming back down. And it does it in both directions, okay? Same thing here. When I see it get that far away, I got a feeling it's coming back up. The midline acts like a magnet. All right. So you know when to sell. You made 1,000 frickin' percent by selling. Let's be modest and say you sold here. Because, you know, you were thinking about it for a while. You couldn't make up your mind. Somebody on Twitter said stay in. 724% enough for you? I would have took 724% and smiled about it. So, you sold. Now you're in USDT. What do? Do you immediately jump into another coin? Anybody got an answer for me? What do you do after you just made 724%? What did Mullet just say? We're looking to make 80% max. You make 80%, I swear to God if somebody argues with me because they didn't make 85. Oh my God. What do we do when we just made 724%? Do we find another coin to jump into and freak out because we're crypto gangsters now? You might have sold April 1st. April 1st. Okay, how many percent is that? 270 good enough for you? Buy a little late after confirmation, sell a little early to ensure your profits. What is he trying to tell y'all to do? Don't be greedy. Go back in the group chat and see what everybody's doing. That's a great idea, actually, because we're all trying to do the same thing here. We're all trying to get paid. You might have sold April 1st. Royal, what would have told you to sell on April 1st? Because I want to know what you were thinking. RSI. You know what? That's not a bad call at all, bro. Because this thing was so high. April 1st, look, not only was it high, but it flattened out a little bit. That have worried me. You know what I would have done? I'd have dropped down to the 12 hour and had a look. Not even going to look up there. It's all messy. I'm just going to look at indicators. All right. Put that back. So, man, I hate when this shit happens. Kicks me out to another place where I don't want to go. There we go. More like it. April 1st. Look at that. Stock is maxed out. MACD went from heavy buy volume to not so heavy buy volume. Don't hate that decision at all. With this snappy of a MACD right here, I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have sold that. I'd have tried to ride that a little bit longer. Also didn't touch the ADMA that day. It's a good point. It was close, but it didn't touch, did it? Trying to catch that top would have been, yeah, exactly. You'd have been looking for that extra 12%. You'd have been looking real hard to try to find that too. And then when you didn't get it, you'd have been pissed off. But you still would have made a shit ton of profit. Look what Mullet said right here. Here's something that nobody does. I don't see anybody but Mullet doing it. You can sell half and determine where it's going. If it jumps again, you still have half in there to make more profits with. Everybody is selling and buying the whole stack. If you think it might go more but you're not sure, take some profits and watch it. You're still going to make some more if it goes. Sure money. You can do what you want, and I'll praise you for doing your own thing and trusting your own charts. But you don't have to make home run swings. Nothing wrong with a double. Okay, Tony Gwynn was a Hall of Famer. Hardly ever hit home runs. But you couldn't strike him out either. That is how I do it. Look right there. That is how I do it. Harvey ain't playing no games. He's here about his business. All right. So we've been in USDT since we hit this top up here. Oh, here you go. We dipped below the 8 right here. Well, that'd have been the sell signal of all sell signals, wouldn't it? You got this big percent. It came way back down here and finally broke the 8. Finally broke the 8. You'd have sold that. You can do the same when buying. Exactly what Mullet said. If you're a little worried that it's not going to snap just yet and go up, instead of buying 1,000, buy 500. And then when it passes a certain level, add another 500 in. And you almost did the exact same thing. No reason to panic. There's 5,000 coins, y'all. Don't panic. Here's why I wouldn't have sold Royal on April 1st. Because the AMA on the 12 hour did touch. Oh, no, it didn't. It was really close. It moved sideways and waited on it. See that? As soon as it touched it again, snap. Up again. How many percent is that? Oh. 263 extra percent on top by dropping down one time frame. I didn't go way down. I did the 12 hour. When we start looking for exits and entries, it's not a bad idea to get down on the lower time frame and have a look. Okay? It's not the end of the world. Just don't stay here for too long. Just analyze and move on. It's you trying to maximize dollars, and we all get that. Okay? We all get it. I don't even know if it'll show me 4 hour way back this far. Yeah, look at this shit chart. Yeah. I don't think it's going to do it. Probably won't. Well, it did. Never mind. Let me shut up. Poloniex data changes sometimes, and it'll always have the best data for you to look at. How about this one right here, Royal? April 1st. We never fell under the 8 on the 4 hour. Look at that. How many days is that? April 1st to here. One extra day. On the 4 hour, it never dropped below the 8. Look at that. Hugged it perfect and kept going. You see that, Royal? On the 4 hour, the day you said you might have sold, it never fell below the 8. It stayed above it the whole time. And what has Mullet told y'all? He don't sell till it drops below the 8. Boy, that would have told you right there, don't sell. You'd have got a little trigger happy, but you wouldn't have sold, and you would have made an extra snap of a percent right there. You'd have ended up, like we said before, with at least, at least 800%. That would have told you exactly. You would have saw it on the daily and thought, man, I don't know, man, this thing might pull back. I better get my money. Let me drop down to the 4 hour and make a decision. Do I really think it's going to fall? Let me find out if I can get out. Should I get out? Can I get out? Is it the right time to get out? I don't know. Let me look and see. Pull this down here. We can see a little bit better. Yeah. Not only did it peak right here on that day you're talking about, April 1st, it went back down and hit this purple zone, but it stayed above it. Look at that. It stayed in the profit zone here and never went even dipped down. I would have watched that too and been thinking, man, is this thing gonna dip down? I don't know. I might have even sold this one back here and then rebought maybe. I don't know. That'd have been a tough call. I see what you're saying. Regardless, you're still making a crap ton of percent. This is one of them times where maybe I done what he's talking about and took half. Took half and then it came up some more and gave me some more profit. Alright. How would you have known to bought back in? You've sold. You made your lick. You made so much money. You're the Crypto God now. Now what? How did you know to get back in and not wait? How did you know to wait and not jump back in full speed? Exactly, Mr. Phibb. It's a good idea. It's the reason Mullet's successful. It's the reason why he wants y'all to do this stuff and not just have him tell you to do it. It's the same thing I teach my little boys. I don't want to have to tell you to brush your teeth. I don't want to have to tell you to clean up after yourself. Just do it. It's your stuff. You know how to do it. You just don't want to, or you want someone to tell you. But you already know, and you can do it. All right. We're in USDT. We've made $1,000 into $10,000. We're doing great. We've got 10 grand to put back into something now. If I would have done that half and half a few times, I'd have made a shit ton more money. Damn right, I would have too. God, I don't want to talk about it. Huh. All right, so this thing popped up here, and then it started this whole sideways crap where it's riding the 8. And rode the 8 and rode the 8. And you know what? Mullet probably wouldn't have sold this till over here somewhere. Because it's still over top of the 8. He might not even have sold this at all. He might have stayed in. Because he's a G like that. I would have sold it, I'm not going to lie to y'all. Especially since it hit this resistance. Well, that's not a resistance line, that's a sell line I drew. Okay, so how do we get back in? Well, what should we do? You would have lost a lot less. I completely agree. Somebody tell me when it's time to get back in. I know this answer, and I'm not going to say it. I want y'all to tell me when's a good time to buy back in. I figured I'd be a lot more sleepy than I am right now. MACD cross. There's a good MACD cross. There's a good answer. EJ says, sorry, I'm drinking. EJ says when the MACD sets up to cross and it's above the 8. Frank says when it crosses the 8. Harvey says when the indicators show it. Mr. Phibb says when the MACD crosses. And Frank says just watch the indicators. Interesting. It's like y'all are learning. It's like y'all know the answers to this shit without me saying anything. We watched it go sideways. We got annoyed. It went under the 8 right here. Probably pissed everybody off. Look at this. How long do you think this can last? How long can that do that? Above the 8, MACD cross would have done it. Blue crosses orange. Whether you sell all or sell half, buying back in becomes a brand new trade. Wait for the other indicators to tell you to buy like you would any brand new coin. You're just doing the same thing you did before all over again. The stock RSI in the friggin' graveyard. Graveyard. The MACD. Down. It crossed right here nasty, right? If you weren't selling before, this is where you for sure sold. For sure. Because you crossed negative here. It started dropping down. You were coming down. You were coming down. But what happened right here? Our heavy sell volume started tapering off. And we started getting less sell volume. And less sell volume. And less sell volume. At the same time this was happening, look what happens up here. Somebody tell me what that is? Y'all racing? I can't type fast. I'm terribly not tech savvy at all. I type like a 10-year-old. The only thing I do different than some is all profits. Damn it, Keith. Is that all profits I've been pulling are going straight into building an XRP back. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You adding more to the bank is not a problem. I was nothing. I didn't see what you pointed at. You don't know what this is, Royal? You sure you don't know what that is? Well, let's have a look then. What is Mullet's #1 trading strategy? What is the only way he buys and sells? Oh, now y'all know the answer. What is that right there? We went over the 8. Not only did we go over the 8, but first we went under and hit this area right here. Some of y'all are going to know the name of this area, some of y'all won't, but tell me what this area... hell, let me get a rectangle right here. What is this area right here? What's that area called? Yeah, sorry, EJ. I always do the same colors. 50 for the yellow, blue for the 100, and red for the 200. Frank is dead on it. That's the weigh minute zone. Same thing with Smithy. Weigh minute zone. You damn right, Smithy. That's a morning star. When you see it go under the 8, but not dive and die under this 21 right here, that's the wait a minute zone. I'm not doing anything yet. I'm waiting. Wait a minute. What are we doing right now? Wait a minute. Waiting, waiting, waiting. We're not buying until this thing closes over the 8, right? We had a beautiful looking thing right here. Let's look at this right here. What's this? We closed over the 8 right there. What was the very next candle? Over the 8. Spot on morning star. Wow. Interesting, isn't it, Acre? TA doesn't work, bro. Yeah, see that mullet right there? He uses orange. I just use lime green for money. Because in my brain, I want to see a green line cross and a green line on the screen when I bought. And that lets me know what I'm doing. We would have bought right here, y'all. We saw it hop over the 8. It closed. The very next candle closed over the 8. If that's not the buy signal that we tell y'all, I don't know what is. You got a cross. You got a cross right there. At the same friggin' time. Look here. Over the midline. Look here. Broke the 40. Look here. Over the 40. All at the same time. Let's tighten this up a little bit, and then we look at another indicator. We see the stock crossed, right? Y'all got that. Not complicated. Holy crap, look at that. Those bands were way tight down here, weren't they? They got real wide because we made this hardcore move. But look right here. What does this mean? man. Son of a bitch. Price action. Gonna pop. Band's getting crazy tight. Jesus, y'all. Oh my God. Look, I'm getting goosebumps because I know this is about to happen again. Movement. Movement. That's the answer that I want to see. Movement. Crazy tight bands mean movement. I don't know which way. I just know these bands are stupid tight. I know that we are on the bullish side of trading because we're over the midline. I like that. We're still pointing down, but we're getting toward the midline, and our volume is decreasing here. Our sell volume is tapering off. We're still over the 40 line. RSI is actually pretty dang flat. We saw the stock RSI was low, didn't we? Let's pull it back up for anybody who doesn't remember. Stock RSI. Look. What'd you think was going to happen right here? You thought it was going to stay down here forever? Holy crap. Get out of my face. Chart reading was so much easier in 2017. Oh my God. Look how low that is. When I saw this go crazy, and I saw this RSI running flat, and this thing flat, dude, I'd have bought like crazy. And I knew these bands were going to get tight. As soon as this thing went over this 8, oh my God. Exactly. Could go either way. You don't know which one. You don't know which one. So you got to wait to see the movement. You get that cross over the 8, there's your movement. You know what to do now. Sounds like QKC. Man, don't it? Only difference is on this coin, y'all, no resistance. There was no history. So it's pure 100% TA. Nothing to go off of. You have to find the moves using your indicators. Man, oh man, look at that, y'all. I'm telling you right now, confirmation and everything, I'd have bought this candle. I don't care. Tight bands over the 40, RSI moving up. I'm buying right here. Green. What happened? Son of a bitch. Look at that. Another pop. All we had to do was follow the simple rules that we've told y'all. The simple rules that we were taught. Simple rules work. You bought, you rode the 8 all the way up. Got a little dicey right here, didn't it? Look how high that was. I'd have probably sold that. Not gonna lie. Right there. Look how high that was right there. Riding the rim. I don't like to see that ride the rim like that. Okay. Probably would have sold too. Let's look. We know our Bollinger Bands widened out, so we don't need those up anymore. Oh, one more thing about these Bollinger Bands. A lot of times they'll ride the rim when there's a pop happening, and you got the midline. You know, you want to see it stay on top of the midline on a bull move. When it starts to slip under, that's usually a sign. Okay. We started slipping under right here. That was a sign. We got another little pop, but it went right back under. When we're under the line, we tend to be in a downtrend or sideways, whichever, but not up. So we don't really care about it at that moment. We want it to see it over the midline and running. Let's pull our MACD back up. See what it looked like. Shit. Look how low this MACD is, y'all. You tell me you would have sold this? You'd have sold this? No way. I wouldn't have sold that. Maybe I'd have thought about it, but I probably wouldn't have done it because it's still over the 8. I'd been waiting to see this fall under. Then as soon as it fell into the 8, or I saw this RSI peeking back out again, you know, because it could do another fake out like this, right? You could have another one of these. More of them up here, you don't know. As soon as this fell into the 8, I'm selling. right here. Selling right there. Make that black. Dude, look at that. See how much percentage this is. It's gonna make you sick to your stomach. God almighty. What's 10,000 times 800, y'all? Or times 8? 10,000 times 8. 10,000 times 8 equals $80,000. $80,000. Hold on, let's see what y'all are saying. The MACD went flat on QKC. It may be failing. More time needed. That's why you wait for the cross. Exactly, Mullet. You anticipate the cross, but until you see it, you don't have to buy. In crypto, Harvey says, yes, I see that. XRP, royalty, correct. That slapped the donkey dick top of the chart. $80,000, y'all. How many moves did you make to get $80,000? What's 1 plus 1? You bought here, you sold. One move. You bought here, you sold. 2 moves. You made 2 moves, y'all. 2 moves. No, check this out, Acre. You can do what Mullet says when you're super in the profit. I'll show you right here. When you're super in the profit like this, you can wait an extra candle if you want to make sure, because you might get faked out, right? You're going to come upon a situation where you have one fall under the 8, perhaps here. Okay, let's say you never sold this first one. You never sold. This thing fell under the 8, right? But then it threw this doji and threw a morning star. Okay, so you saw this morning star form. You didn't sell, you waited, and it popped right back up. You would still be in this trade from the bottom, riding it up, because you waited just one more candle. You were so in the profit that you waited one more candle. You don't have to do that. You could do it either way. You could be strict and follow the rule. When it drops under the 8, you leave. When the indicators are maxed out, you leave. Or you can give it an extra day. It's really up to you on that. 1K to 10K to 80K. 2 moves. And it's not even done. So right here, let's label this. On this time, 1K buy-in. And I took it right here. All right. That was a 10K profit. And then we bought here. Let's erase these because we know what these were. And the black line up here represents $80K profit. Save. Holy shit, y'all. How does it feel to be a baller? How does it feel to have 2 years salary sitting in your Binance account? How does it feel? You're right, Royal. It is a lot better live class. But I'm at work almost all damn day, all the time. So, you got this signal right here to sell. Not only did you get this signal to sell when it dropped below the 8, but I want you to look at this MACD. What we have right here, sell signal. What we have right here, sell signal. Interestingly enough, the RSI never broke 40. Look at that. It didn't break 40 till all the way back here where it turned bearish. We had bearish trading right here. A lot of people would have waited all the way till here to make their move. Now you still would have pulled a lot of percent. 588 as a matter of fact. But you wouldn't have got 800. You know what I mean? 300% is a lot. That ain't nothing to play with. We've seen our sell signal. We sold. Now we got all this sideways crap. But why did we get this sideways stuff? We don't understand why. Well, maybe we should find out. We know this stochastic's going to go crazy for a while. We've had a ton of trading. Get it off the chart. Let's pull Bollinger Bands back up. Now let's have a look. Man, look at that. Real quick, like it went from super stupid wide to flat. And flat. And flat. And flat. That must have sucked, right? You'd have been trying to buy and sell this. Look at all these buy, sell signals. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You can do this if you want, but this is really difficult. Okay? Really difficult. You'd have been faked out a few times in here. And probably got irritated because you see it dip way down here. You'd have bought and it moved hardly anything. Or was it hardly anything? Let's have a look. You've seen this down here. That was this candle. So you bought here. You watch this RSI pop up over the 40 line right here. It even broke the 8. Look at that. That was probably fun feeling. You thought it was going to go again, but it didn't. It dropped. And it closed here. This is where you got out. Now you're probably getting irritated. I don't know if I want to do this, man. I'm trying to play the rules and do it right. I'm trying to follow the rules. You just made 16%. You made 16% off that RSI flooring down like that and this MACD crossing up. MACD crossed. See that? Buy signal. Matter of fact, you had a buy signal all the way till here. All the way till here. Right about where you bought. So you consolidated right here. That would have sucked. That's a QKC move if I ever saw one. 34 days a month. Boy, is that QKC or what, y'all? 58 grand. Not too bad. No, we ain't quitting. We don't get to quit, Frank. We don't get to quit. You'd have got pissed right here. You'd have waited a month and not made $1. But sentiment started to change. Okay? The bands kept getting tight and jerking. And they're getting tight and jerking. Let's, at this point, we've seen all this sideways and we're not really making what we want to make and we're doing these moves that are kind of annoying. Well, let's step it up and go to like 4 days. See what 4 days look like. Go to. Looky here, y'all. It appears that the bands were still kind of wide. See that? They started narrowing in. They finally got tight right about here when the MACD was nice and flat. You got a buy signal right here on the cross, and you got a sell signal, buy signal, you know what? Kind of frustrating to look at. You didn't really know what to do until you saw these bands get tight again. You might have bought here. Would have went sideways on you. You saw this 8 pop over right here. And here you go. This is that moment that we were talking about. Right here. Where you give it an extra day. Look, you cross the 8. It dipped down below the 8. The very next candle was a spinner. And it's shoot right up over. A Morning Star style pattern. Not exactly right, but close. And it went. The same thing that it did back down here. The same move. And from there, what would you have done? Once you saw it cross the 8 and you held in there, you'd have bought right. I would have bought. Let's see, this is closed. This closed. I'd have bought here. And been happy about it. Thinking I'm a baller. Interestingly enough, now that this coin shot up here and did this, we have some resistance now. And some support. We see that probably right here. Maybe, yeah. Let's say there. Switch that one to red. We have a resistance line now. This consolidation created one. You also have one. We can just make this line red. How about that? We'll put it right about there. We're bouncing in between support and resistance, running sideways. Yeah, man, I'm telling y'all. God almighty. We never even looked at moving averages. Holy shit, look at there, y'all. We never broke under moving averages. We stayed over them the whole time. They just kept on sweeping up. It moved sideways. Started hitting the 50. Started hitting the 50. Closed over the 50. Closed over. Dipped down. Never really broke under and stayed under. Look at that. Over the 50. Bam. Told you I'd have bought that green line when I saw the 8 cross. Trying to be restrictive. I'm trying to be even more strict than I normally am. Let's see our percentages here. Bought here. I wrote it up. I wrote it up. Got a little worried on this red one right here. Not gonna lie. Got a little worried. It's 229%. Let's look at the indicators. Oh. Yep, I would have sold. Probably right about here, maybe. I'd have sold. Which is this candle, 229%. Alright. So I bought in right here for $80. Okay. Buy in. I wrote it up 229% to this line. What's 80,000 times 2.2? 2.3. 80,000 times 2.3. $176,000. Y'all paying attention? $176,000. What did you do to get $176,000? You clicked the mouse 2 times. You stared at a chart. Tell me that you can't do this. Tell me that you can't do it. wait, there's more. Billy Mays here. Alright. You never broke the 8, did you? This thing came down here and checked. Oh. This is just on a 4-day chart. Man. Let's look at 1 day. Hang on, let me do this again. Poloniex, y'all. Poloniex charts. I really do this on my charts where I draw stuff in like this, okay? I write stuff down like this where I'm making a move. So I know what I'm doing. And I know when I did it. Alright. I want to remember for myself my mistakes and my wins. $80,000 buy-in. God, could you imagine? I would wreck the order sheet. Nah, bro, I don't sleep, homie. I'll sleep when I die. Alright, so we came up. We rode the top of the bands. That's pretty bullish. We like that. Started moving sideways right here. Kind of spooked us a little bit. Let's pull a fib and see what it did. From the top, because it made a downward move right here. You see that? Downward move. So we'll pull from the top down. Alright. Look at there. We had this day, move this fib set over here a little bit so you can see it a little better. This daily close right here hit that 168 perfect. See that? Went a little bit over. Okay, whatever. But it started here, swooped down, reversed all the way to 1.618 on the titties. I would have probably been looking at this and said that thing where I say, boy, it's getting near 8 o'clock. Probably need to look at your indicators. Look how high that is. I might have sold that. But look, gosh, this MACD is telling you, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I just started going up. Don't sell me. So this is one of them moments where I would have had to learn the hard way. And I probably would have missed some profits right here, okay? Because this told me not to sell yet. This told me it's still going. Don't be a bitch. Hang in there. You're in a bull run, bro. Hang with it. We've got confirmation. We done broke out multiple times. This RSI sat right up here in the profit zone and made money for you. I would have panicked right around in here somewhere. I'd have felt like a fool too. Exactly. Don't you dare sell me. Hold on, bro. You're in the profit. You got good candles, bro. Don't stop. It did this exact same move on VET, didn't it? Hit the 168 and went whoop. And then, of course, it came back down. But different story. So finally, we topped out. We moved sideways, and instead of it dipping down below the 8, what did it do? It hung on, rode the 8, kept going. Went another sideways, hit the 8, kept going. Let's measure these sidewayses because I want to know what they look like. Start at the top, pull down. That's almost the exact same thing it did down here on a more sideways level. Came down, pop, hit the 168, came down, pop. Let's look at the next one. Top wick. Bottom wick. Alright, I'm going to do this wick right here because it's the lowest wick. From here to here is the lowest one. I know that looks weird, but that's the way it works. And look, reversal, bam, right back up here to the 168 again. And this is the Poloniex chart, probably the most wicky chart you can look at. And again, we'll pull it from here and back down. Jesus Christ, look at that last one. Holy shit. The last one went down, came up over top of the 8 and stopped. I'm talking about dead nuts, right on the titties, 1618. You're right, it didn't cross. It stayed up over top of the 8 the whole time. It hung tough. Why sell that? Don't sell that. Bro, it doesn't work at all, Frank. All TA is a lie. It's stupid. It doesn't work. Okay? Mr. Poole said so. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, all these RSI riding the top would have spooked me, but this MACD, it just kept going, man. That's insane, but it kept going. I wouldn't have sold it yet until I saw it rolling over. What does Mullet say? It looks like it's starting to roll over. So right here, I've been killing it, dude. Killing it. Might have sold this, might not have. But it's still been over the 8. I saw it dip under the 8 right here. That was my signal. No more arguing, Keith. It's rolling over right here. That was the line. Let's make it black. Goodness gracious, y'all. I don't even know. So from here to here, 800%. Did I do that right? X off of that. Golly. Man, I'm telling you. I'd have continued to rode this the whole way. Let's just say for a minute that we didn't sell any of it and we just rode it the whole way, right? We didn't keep trying to sell and buy and sell and buy and sell and buy. I probably would have. I probably would have been panicking. But let's just pretend for a minute we followed the rules of the 8 and we listened. We bought in for $80,000. We rode it from here all the way to the top to where we sold this black line. We made 800%. Okay, 8 times 8 is $164,000. $164,000. You made $164,000. I don't know what else to say to y'all. $164,000. So let's put that on the thing here. 168K profit. Right there. Okay, see, look, man. Y'all do this fancy ass math. Hold on a minute. Let me read this shit. When the old man says, maybe, you don't walk, you run. So 640K on 80K. Mullet says that's 1.48 million. Frank says on 80K times 8, that's 640 grand. Mullet says 176K times 8. Oh, I did that right. Right. Hold on, Mullet, you're right. I did it wrong, didn't I? The math, y'all. It's the math, dude. I suck at it. So that's what I did wrong. Hold up. Let me pull it in. Right here. I said right in this area, from here to here, I would have sold. Because I saw the TA go up that high and hit resistance, right? Resistance. I would have stopped. It's moving sideways. I panic. That's 2.5, which was actually 2.2. That's where I got the 170 something, right? 176K. 176K. So let's move this down here. Let's just do 78. It's easier. These numbers are mind melting. All right. I saw it hit the 8 again after it did this pennant. This popped up. The MACD was still going up. I saw it hit the 8 and stay over it. I wanted to get back in, but I didn't know when. So I started dropping down on a lower time frame. Hey, let's do 8 hours. Whatever. Right. I started doing lower time frames because I was getting a little spooked. I done got a lot of money in this, right? I'm starting to wonder, man, when do I start buying in again, bro? It's getting crazy. Crazy, crazy money. Stupid money. So I saw it move sideways. I saw it move sideways. What is this right here? Wait a minute. What that is the Bollinger Bands pinching down and it popping up over again. The RSI came down and moved flat over the 40. We're still over the 40. We're bullish. Flat. The MACD crossed. It did some wavy shit right here though, right? So we were looking for an entry. That was the whole point being down here on the 8 hour. We're just looking for our entry. We're trying to get back in. We see the Bollinger Bands pinch down. We're watching carefully. We see it pop up, right? So we buy here because we waited for the closing. We waited for the closing. We buy here. Green. We go back to the daily because that's where our action is. We don't watch the 8 hour. We watch the daily. Oh, yeah. So after making that play on the 8 hour, look what happened. Just the rest of the day after that 8 hour, we made 41% the rest of that day. But we didn't get out yet. We watched. We waited. All this was still moving up. So we put a fib on this. We wanted to know, how much is this thing going to move? Let me move this arrow out of the way first. It's in the way. There we go. I can see now. Lowest wick to the top wick. Oh boy. We bought here. It went up, come back down to the 50 line, never broke it, wicked but never closed over it, hit the 8 and took off again. I would not have budged right here. I would have been watching this, ride my fib lines perfect and go. So my $178,000 buy-in right here would have been worth Man, I can't even get that percentage to go that high. Hold up. There you go. $2.8. So 178,000 times 2.8. I lived in an apartment I rated for 20 years. Pull fibs again. Look at that tight ass. Man, you couldn't drive a nail in my ass with a sledgehammer at that point. Look at that wind mullet right there. $500,000. You have $500,000, y'all. What did you do for $500,000? Put this on the weekly and let's look. for $500,000. You followed indicators and you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clicks of a mouse. 7 clicks of a mouse. Are you serious right now? You made 3 trades. And that was it. And you made $500,000. Are you serious right now? What else does the TA need to tell you? Now you can choose to believe that this is a joke and it doesn't work. You can choose to believe that conspiracy theories say that none of this is real and that it's all planned, and that you can believe that, the Federal Reserve has been working with XRP Ripple the whole time and Bitcoin is not really Satoshi, and that Mr. Pool's Satoshi, or whoever the fuck you want to believe. I don't care. The TA doesn't lie. The TA tells you exactly what was going to happen the whole friggin' time. It's not that complicated. If you'll just listen to the rules and follow them, you will not miss. You are going to lose money sometimes. Limit your losses to a small amount. Take a 5 or 10% loss sometimes. It sucks and it hurts, but you'll be okay. Man up. Put your big boy pants on and get back after it. Not every trade goes perfect. There would have been some times in here where I probably panicked and freaked out, because it's a lot of money we're talking about, okay? A lot. Life-changing money. But I also would have been watching the chart harder than I ever watched it my entire life during that exact same time. I'd have been laser focused in on what was going on. And I would expect y'all guys would have too. By the way, look what's happening right here. These bands are getting tight. The problem is we're under this 200. And I don't like that so much, but look how high that 200 is, 34.7. There's a reasonable expectation that this will go and hit that 200 at some point. Don't ask me when, because I don't know. Alright, so that's all I got for the night, fellas. I'm going to get this on the cloud tonight or tomorrow. It's 1 a.m. here in South Carolina. Once I get it on the cloud, I'll shoot it over to Discord. It takes a little while because this is going to be a big file. It's 2 hours. I'm sorry it took 2 hours, but I wanted to drive home a point. Okay. It's real. It's as real as you want it to be too. You guys can do this. Don't bullshit yourself. Man up and do it. It's hard. I know it's hard. It's not easy. You want someone to do it for you and to tell you what to do. Learn it and tell other people what to do instead of having someone do it for you. Other than that, thank you. Thank you, Mullet, because I don't do it right. It doesn't really work without him. Y'all, he never asked to do any of this. He just got thrown into it, and he's been a boss about it, okay? So, it's not his cup of tea. He's just here to be a businessman and make money. Same time, y'all guys are learning a shit ton, and he just said it right there. If we're a team, we all win, okay? Division happens sometimes, and that sucks. But what it comes down to is it's money time, okay? We can make money together, or we can be bitches. So let's make money together. Alright, so you're very welcome. Royal, change your name. I'm sick of seeing peasant. Thank y'all, everybody. I'll get this loaded up. We'll holler at y'all on Telegram. Peace.